This training camp for the Chicago Bears has already been an exciting one between the pads getting on, some fights, some interceptions, unfortunately injuries, and finally a successful 2-minute drill by Caleb Williams and the offense on yesterday's practice. We'll talk about what this Bears team has been building all summer long, the standouts from day 8 in training camp, and also we got some words that I think are going to make a lot of Bears fans happy to hear as well from DeAndre Swift. We're going to talk about all that, plus dive into the mailbag right after this. What's going on, Bears fans? Welcome to another episode of Chicago Bears Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. I'm the host there, Haize, but more importantly, you guys can follow the channel at Chi Bears Central on every social media platform we happen to be on. With that said, let's go and get into this content for today, y'all. So the Chicago Bears finished their first full week of training camp. You know, last week it wasn't a full week. This was the first full week of training camp, and we're going to talk about the players that stood out, both winners and losers, in regards to that one. And first, one of the winners that we got to talk about to start off with has been Braxton Jones. The way that we've heard Braxton Jones has prepared so far this offseason and how he's been looking in training camp has been great. Now, unfortunately, we know that he went down with injury yesterday. There has been some reports that he may have avoided a serious injury. That does not necessarily mean that he's going to be out that he won't miss any time. You know, we'll see what happens in regards to that. He got hurt in a one-on-one with Austin Booker, and apparently Austin Booker was giving him that work in that workout as well. That came from Pat, the designer. Austin Booker was bull rushing the hell out of Braxton Jones. But, you know, outside of the health concerns, this has been a really solid training camp for Braxton Jones. He clearly had that job. He was above Kieran Magaje, Jedrick Wills. Even Theo Benedict's been more on the right side, planning to be a swing tackle. But as it stands right now, we don't know what's going to happen with Braxton. We don't know what the injury is going to entail, how long he's going to be out, things like that. We'll see, right? And hopefully that's announced here sooner rather than later, and what happens with Braxton Jones in regards to that. But it does seem, like I said, I do want to be clear, it does seem as it stands right now, according to Courtney Cronin, says this: it appears to have avoided a significant injury during Thursday's practice. The initial belief is that the injury isn't long-term in nature, with the base scenario being one where Jones would be considered day-to-day. So take that for what you will. You want that left tackle position. We're already dealing with the injury to Ozzie Trapillo. You want everything locked in as much as you can. And so Braxton Jones has had a really solid training camp so far, and you got to give him credit for that. Like, again, I'm not the biggest Braxton Jones guy, but some of the hate around him has been a little bit tough because, you know, he is a serviceable starting left tackle. He's not great. He's not going to excel. He's been serviceable up until this point in his career. Can he turn that a little bit? We'll see. Another player that stood out has been Caden Davis as well. Of course, we expect to hear Colston Loveland, Rome Odunze, Luther Burden. We've heard that all those guys have shined so far in training camp. But Caden Davis is somebody that I haven't even talked about. We focus so much on Jade Walker, Xavier Thomas, Khalif Raymond, as the other wide receivers. But if Caden Davis also is building chemistry with Caleb Williams, looking pretty damn good on top of that. He caught a one-handed catch from Caleb Williams on Thursday's practice and a touchdown from Case Keenum as well. So, like, if he's doing these things, like, that just adds to the depth. And depth here in our wide receiver room is hugely important for this Bears team. You want that depth to be on point. You want it to be legitimate. And if it does work out that way for the Chicago Bears, that's really good. Caden Davis has been somebody that in 2 different practices this week has really stood out as a player that's making some progress. So that Bears wide receiver room could be even deeper than we thought if players like Caden Davis are going to be able to perform. He'll get a big opportunity in preseason. He's going to be one of those type of players that does get a lot of burn in the preseason reps, and we'll see how that works out for the team. But overall, shout out to Caden Davis for what he's been able to do. Another guy, Jordan Vandenberg, the rookie here. Now, I don't know how much Jordan Vandenberg is going to pop up the depth chart and stuff like that, but to draft a 6th-round rookie in Jordan Vandenberg, and for him to be a standout, especially once the pads are on, with his physicality, reportedly he had an extremely disruptive day on Thursday. He beat both Luke Newman and Logan Jones on one-on-one drills. Even blew up a 9-on-7 rep that had many people in attendance impressed as well. And then on Thursday, he was part of the rotation with the starters during the 11-on-11 work, which gave him experience to go out there as well. So I tell you what, hey, it seems like the Bears have something in Jordan Vandenberg. They put him out there with the one so he can go up against Joe Tooney. And, so seems like right now Dennis Allen and this defense do have big plans for Jordan Vandenberg to be an impact player for them as soon as this year in some ways. We'll see. So, like, if you're Grady Jarrett and you don't perform, hell, if you're Javon Dexter, you don't perform. If you're, any of the backup guys in Neville Gallimore, Contavious Street, and you don't perform, Jordan Vandenberg as a rookie is ready, willing, and able to take your spot. And that's what it seems like he's ready and willing to do if need be. So we'll see how that's going to work out. But, like, Jordan Vandenberg seems like somebody who's really locked in. He's ready to go. And we're going to see what's going to happen in regards to that one. And then one of the other people, Salvon Ahmed. I don't know what to say. Like, you had Kyle Monangai sidelined for a few practices, and Ahmed really stepped in there. And as a veteran, he took full advantage of the opportunity that was ahead of him. And now it seems like that two-headed monster in Kyle Monangai and DeAndre Swift, it may have a third head that's emerging in Salvon Ahmed as well. So, we're going to see what happens with that. I think when, he showed off his speed, he showed off some playmaking ability. On Thursday, he made an acrobatic catch during down the sideline on one-on-ones. And so this is a guy that, when you look at the running back 3 spot, many people had thought, Roschon Johnson is going to be in that conversation. But people like me, I talked about Caden Barnett and what he has as a chance to really kind of shine and step up into that role, where it seems like Salvon Ahmed may be ahead of all those guys, even Britton Brown, in really making a name for himself in this running back room. And that does nothing but help the Chicago Bears make that next step forward that they're trying to do. But all things aren't sunshine and rainbows, because there are also some players that do need to be marked, unfortunately, as losers so far in training camp. And one of the biggest ones so far is Kyler Gordon. He's still not out there. He's not even on the sideline. And that's the thing that's really kind of the most disappointing to me, is that typically at this point, of players that are preparing to return back, they're on the sideline doing some things. And as right now, he's just continuing to do rehab. The nickel conversation in regards to that one seems like it's coming down to Jalen Jones, Malik Muhammad. They're working out for that one. Cam Lewis is now moving to the starting safety position. We'll talk about that. But Kyler Gordon could have been such and could still be. I want to be clear. He could still very well be that if he gets healthy by the start of the season. And that's what they're probably looking at. If you're healthy by the start of the season, you get those reps, you can build that relationship. That's good. But as things stand right now, it doesn't look like Kyler Gordon's going to be out there anytime soon. So, and again, this is just based off the information that I have. It could very well change. Hell, we heard that Kobe Bryant's injury may not be 8 to 10 weeks, as Ben Johnson said he doesn't know where that came from. So we'll see what happens with Kyler Gordon, but there's just no doubt that you have to be disappointed in the fact that Kyler has not been able to get out there with his teammates and work, because Kyler at that nickel could be so important for this Bears team. And unfortunately, it seems like the Bears are going to have to prepare without him, and that's just unfortunate. Another player is Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, and let me be clear, it's not because of his performance, because what we heard when he was on the football field practicing out there with his guys, what we heard is that he was out there doing exactly what you needed him to do, exactly what you wanted to see from him, and there were no ifs, ands, buts, or questions if he looked like the player that was going to bring what the Chicago Bears wanted to see from him when they signed him. But unfortunately now, with getting hurt, going down, and Adam Schefter did report that it's going to be 8 to 10 weeks, there's been some, Ben Johnson made it clear that, there's still information gathering on the extent of Kobe Bryant's injury. So hopefully it's going to be a lot shorter than that. But as it stands right now, this guy is going to be down. And if it is 8 to 10 weeks, that puts him at being able to return between weeks 3 and weeks 5. If that is, we'll see what happens. He did suffer a hyperextended knee with a bone bruise and a small fracture. So we'll see what happens, and we'll get him out there. But, building that chemistry with Dylan Thieneman, being the guy that's bringing the Super Bowl experience to this defense, being a guy that can raise the floor, those are all things that you expected from Kobe Bryant. And right now, we're not going to get that from him. So we'll see how that works out for him, how it continues, and what if he can get back out there on the football field sooner rather than later, because you want to see him out there on the field. And then I think overall, you got to also say it's been tough for Dennis Allen. While the Bears offense has done nothing but gotten really acclaim and praise and all those type of stuff, for the second straight summer, Dennis Allen's defense is hit with major injuries in the secondary. Elijah Hicks, Kobe Bryant, Kyler Gordon, then also Montez Sweat going down. It doesn't seem like he's going to be a long-term thing either, though. But for a coach in Dennis Allen, that the secondary and the defensive backs are so important to what this team's trying to do, to miss that at the level that he's going to miss it at. It sucks, because Dennis Allen needs it. It's a big part of his scheme. Now, luckily, we have more depth there. We're not going to have to go out and try to find a veteran like we did with C.J. Gardner-Johnson last year. We have a lot of the depth in-house that we're just going to be able to build with now in training camp and get them prepared. But it's just no doubt that it still sucks for Dennis Allen to just not have that full group ready. And, it's unfortunate. But with that said, as much as there's been some bad things on the defense, the offense has been put in a really position. DeAndre Swift talked about the offense and why the offense for the Chicago Bears could be so great this season. He said this: "We got so many guys that can go. It's a great offense to be a part of. It makes it fun. It makes you want to be on your game and make sure you're not the one lacking at that particular time because they can throw the ball to anybody and you can go the distance anytime." And I think that perfectly encapsulates what this excitement around this Bears defense could be this season. This is this offense. This is an offense that can have so many different looks at you. You can if you're just talking about receivers, Common guy can catch, DeAndre Swift can catch, Colson Loveland, Cole Kmet, hell, Sam Roush, all the wide receivers in the wide receiver room, right? Like, there's so many weapons that you can go to with that. But then you flip that and even look at the run game. We just talked about Ahmed showing himself. We got the two-headed running monster there. You're going to run Xavier Thomas some. You're going to have some jet sweeps in regards to, this Bears offense may be the most versatile offense we have ever seen for the Chicago Bears in my history of watching this team. And that in and of itself is exciting. Now, we got to make sure that we're going to be able to turn that excitement into something real during the season and tangible. But if we do that, the sky's the limit for the Chicago Bears team, and especially this offense. We just got to see where we're going to take it. But let me know down below how excited you are about this offense for the Chicago Bears. With that said, it is Friday. That means it is mailbag day. Let's get into these voicemails, man. This one's from Darius.
What's going on, guys? Darius from Dallas, man. Want to call and talk about a little of the news we got going on this week. Got a lot of things happening, but I want to talk about that Kobe Bryant injury first. Thank God that it wasn't a season-ending thing. But I do think we got the versatility with Dylan Thieneman and Cam Lewis to be able to, hold it over. I do believe that Kobe Bryant is an impact player. I'm glad he's an addition to the team, but I don't think we're one Kobe Bryant away from winning or not winning. We still got to count on this team to supplement that and at least sustain it. We might not get the same level of play, but I think we got enough guys in that secondary to sustain some sort of success. So I think we'll be all right. My boy Keys, he suggested that we'd move Tyreek Stevenson to free safety. And that's my boy, man. Keys normally has a way better taste than I do, but that right there, putting our cornerback that gets burned the most at free safety. And Haize, if that's how I sounded when I was trying to switch positions and all that, I apologize, brother, because that is absurd. When he said that to me, that kind of was like, dude, is that really coming from you? Because you normally got better taste than that. So I just want you to, pick on Keys like you pick on me. I just had to tell on him for a minute. Also, I got one more question about, and I just want to see what you think about this as far as going left tackle by committee. Now, I know that's a little unorthodox, but it's done on the defensive line all the time. You have defensive linemen that are, better at stopping the run. You put them in on rundowns. Ones that are better at stopping the pass, you put or rushing the passer, you put them in there then. So if we just take Braxton and say, okay, what is your strengths? We got to keep this thing upright until Ozzie gets back. So we take Braxton Jones and just say, hey man, we're going to use you on running down because he's really good at getting out there in open space, and just pulverizing guys. That's one thing he is really good at. Run blocking is his strength. And then on these passing downs, we might have to disguise it a little bit to not tip the defense off, but them critical ones where we really got to get that third and long and it's obvious passing downs. Hell, if Braxton can't defend the bull rush, why not just throw, Jedrick Wills in there for that down, or Tyron Amagaje, whoever is better at defending that bull rush, put them in there on them obvious third and long situations so that Braxton Jones isn't the reason why the play leaks every time we need a critical first down on 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12, 3rd and 15. I know it's a little unorthodox, so that's a little too far left. I apologize, but I'm just trying to put some Band-Aids on this thing until Ozzie gets back. But let me know what y'all think. Text us up there now.
Yeah, this is how you sounded when you talked about moving Kyler to safety, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is what, position switches happen, but they're not as common in the NFL as what they maybe used to be. Now, it's going to happen sometimes. You're going to have players that can play, like we have Cam Lewis on this team who can play multiple positions. But yeah, I am a little bit disappointed in Keys talking about moving Tyreek to safety. But I will say this, as far as your thoughts on the offensive line, it gets a little bit difficult to move offensive linemen in and out like you do defensive linemen for specific packages because the defense is eventually going to catch on to that, and you're tipping your hand. But I do think we're going to have a left tackle by committee when everybody's healthy, because if Braxton does have a game where the bull rush is killing him, you can bring in Jedrick Wills or Theo Benedict, who deal with the bull rush a little bit better, right? So I think you have those parts of it that's going to help bring balance to that left tackle role and position, and that's where the Bears want to live in. All right, let's get into this next voicemail, man. This one's from Ant.
Yo, what up, fellas? This Ant's Army vet calling in first and foremost to say big ups to Darnell Wright for getting his bag. That man definitely earned it. And for anybody who don't think that he earned it, just remember, Mike, not only did we have the number 3 rushing attack and Caleb did all those wonderful things he did last season, but he was also part of that offensive line that Justin Fields had his best season under. You know what I mean? When we got DJ Moore and that great running attack we had then, Darnell Wright, he anchored that offensive line too. So the man definitely earned his bag, and I'm glad he got his bag. And I was listening to the Daily today, and I wanted to send a message before Haize beat me to it, because I heard Tyreek Stevenson press conference when he was like he just trying to be the best cornerback here outside of Jalen Johnson. Haize, he beat me to it, man, because I was about to say the same thing. Fuck that. Be the best corner on the team. I want you to say I'm trying to go out here and take Jalen Johnson's job, because we already know when Jalen is on form, he one of the number 1 corners, if not the best corner in the entire NFL. So I want you to go out there and try to take his fucking job, because if you got the potential to do it, don't limit yourself. Just don't limit yourself. And I think that's what we all have our issues with Tyreek Stevenson. We all feel like he not playing up to the potential that we see. Like fucking even Evilflus saw the potential in Tyreek Stevenson. But I just want him to play up to his potential. I think he's not playing up to that potential, that greatness that we see at times. If he can play consistently at that level, I think Tyreek Stevenson can be one of the top corners in the entire NFL. That's just my opinion. But I wanted to give a big up to my fellow veteran Bobito also, because he called out that Darnell Wright pick. Like, I was with him on that. Darnell Wright was the best pick for us at that time. I was with him on that. I didn't want Jalen Carter. I'm glad he doing his thing, but, like, I really didn't want Jalen Carter. I'm glad we got Darnell Wright. But also, all this outside chatter from everybody outside of Bears fans, I'm done listening to it. I done heard it too much. I done heard good, bad, other. I'm done listening to it. Outside noise don't matter, because guess what? We are 1 week and 4 days away from our first preseason game. That's all I care about. It's time to put it on the field, show it on the field, fuck paper, put it on wax. Put it out on the field, show everybody what we got, and let's see what our rookies going to do in this preseason. I can't wait to get to the season so we can see what this team going to do. Shot-town up, bear down. Y'all have a good one.
Darnell Wright was the right pick. And while people doubted it at the time, the way that Darnell Wright has continually evolved, continually gotten better at every shape, form, and fashion throughout his tenure here, and it doesn't seem like it's going to stop for Darnell anytime soon. Yeah, he got paid now for who he is, because he's already become one of the best right tackles in the game of football. But I don't think he's the finished product of the player he's going to be yet. There's still a lot left for Darnell Wright to turn into, of who he can turn into as a player. And because of that, he's the highest paid right tackle in the history of football. And he's going to make it worth it. You trust that he's going to make it worth it because of the way that he's played, the way that he's performed, the way that he's progressed. And now he's working with Dan Rouchard. Man, it's special. It's special. All right, let's move into this next one, man. This one's from Fred.
Hey, yo, Haize, what up, man? It's Fred, man. I just want to call in, man. Countdown, wait for the season get here, man. I'm so looking forward to it. I just want to say this, man. Why the hell Jacksonville head coach Liam Cohen got something to say about Caleb? Because ain't nobody talking about his team, his quarterback. First of all, Trevor Lawrence is fucking overrated as fuck. Let's be real about that. He only won, what, 1 division title since he been in Jacksonville? Dude, he shouldn't be saying nothing about our quarterback. He need to focus on his team trying to do good and them getting over, the hump or whatever, though. And the second, it sucks that, we lost Kobe Bryant. Looking forward to him, with the DBs, his defense, seeing what it's going to look like. Well, hopefully he can make a fast recovery and get back on the field, with the team or whatever, though. Because that dude kind of, hurt us, though. But, hey, you know the mentality. Next man got to step up, bottom line. So And also, I like the fact that we had both our rookies going at it with the Vanilla Gorilla, Caden Barnett and Jordan Vandenberg. I like to see that. We need that. We need fire like that. You know what I'm saying, with this team. And, for this upcoming season. Because we put cleats to ass. Whoever on that schedule, no matter what, they gonna feel us. They gonna feel the Bears. You know what I'm saying? And they gonna know that the Bears is serious. Like, people gonna stop disrespecting us. So, and you know what I'm saying, on top of that, I'm seeing videos of our DBs getting cooked. I kind of got some concerns about that. Like, maybe they even just can't, sometimes like, hey, you played football before. You got some guys that'll go half speed or whatever, though. But I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of like scratching my head about how the receivers was cooking. Maybe our receivers that good and fast than our DBs or something. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just, ready for the season, to get started, man, because I miss watching the Bears play, and I miss, talking shit to them punk ass Packers fans. Yeah, you punk ass Packers fans. You know what I'm saying? So y'all want to be calling in on the show and talking shit about the Bears fans or whatever, but they're irrelevant. But anyway, yeah, man. I'm just pumped up. I'm excited. Hopefully we get, we get, a left tackle to protect Caleb Blindside, because I'm worried about that as well too. So I ain't concerned about our linebackers. I think our linebackers gonna be good, and I think our D line gonna be better though. But don't be surprised if that boy Vandenberg end up starting. But let me know what you think, big dog. Chicago up, better out of nothing. FGB.
Fred, you got to stop worrying so much about the national media, other players, other coaches, all that type of stuff, because at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Right? It really doesn't matter. What matters is that when we get on that football field and we're between those lines, what are you saying then? What have the Chicago Bears shown you then? What have we done then? Right? That's all that matters, and we're getting closer and closer to football actually starting and with preseason. At that point, all the noise can stop. It doesn't matter anymore because it's about what we see on the football field. And that's the great nullifier. That's the thing that makes everything even. When you're on those lines on the football field, that's all that matters. All that extra preseason noise, offseason noise, all the hype, it doesn't matter. What are you doing on the football field? And that's both positively and negatively for the Chicago Bears. And I can't wait to see how we perform in that and what we show, because hopefully we're showing and proving that this ain't a team to slouch on. This ain't a team to overlook. This ain't a team to doubt, because we're bringing some things this season, and you're going to want to see it. All right, let's get into this last voicemail for today, man. This one's from Keys.
Yo, what's the deal, fellas? It's your boy Keys, man. Hope all is well with you guys. That being said, let's get to it. Monday, I was very fortunate to be able to attend the training camp practice the day before Darnell Wright's contract came out at Haize. What my eyes saw was something where I do believe that this offense, for the first month and a half, they can carry this team. And I think that's the backbone of it, while the defense works towards not only getting healthy, but playing more as a unit. Now, what I will say is, Caleb, if I had about $1,000, I'd probably put all of it on Caleb, the MVP. He was making the right reads. Coastal Loveland, just, man, I've never seen nobody that tall and that fast ever in my life playing tight end and having just catching the ball everywhere, So I think the backbone will be through him. But I will say this too. Watching the D-line, I think they might be a little bit better than what we expect. I'm not saying they're going to be all world or we get 30, 40, 50 sacks, anything like that. But Jordan Vandenberg really impressed me. Javon, some technique stuff like that. That'll happen. But I truly believe that our D-line is going to probably be a little bit better than what I think. It's what we want to happen and everything like that. It's going to be better. But also the linebackers, again, today we find out that T.J. Edwards is coming back. So that right there, that front seven might be something where it's a little bit better than what we think is going to happen. But it was good to get out. It was good to see the fans out there supporting and everything like that. Man, it was a good time, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Just the experience, and then just watching that O line work as a unit. I don't know how healthy we gonna be in that regards, but man, that offense, bro. Whew. And another thing, if anybody got to complain about Darnell Wright's contract, you are a fucking idiot. Dude is one of the best right tackles in the league, and it's just proven by how Ryan Poles does his players right, man. So I'm just excited for the season. I know C-Dub and, Bobby, all of y'all finna go in with everything, bro. So let me know what you guys think. As always, Chi-Town up, bear down, y'all.
I agree that if the defensive line can stay healthy, it's going to be a lot better than what I think people are. It can make a step. It can make progress. It can be better than what it was last season. We just, I think this is going to play with an edge. And seeing and hearing what we've heard about Jordan Vandenberg, Grady Jarrett's back healthy. Austin Booker looks like he's ready to make that leap. Dio's better when he's moved to the inside. All those type of things. If that continues for this team and they continue down that path, this defense line is going to be better. Like my what I want to see is be middle of the pack. Go from being the at the end of it, right at the bottom of the league, to middle of the pack, and then take what we do this season. If we are middle of the pack, then let's build it out next season so we can be one of the best, right? Like the continued progression. That's all I really want to see from this team, and that's what most Bears fans should want to see from this team. And let's hope that we can get it. Let's hope that we can continue to go and grow in the areas that we need to, and then we're going to be where we are. And as far as, like you said, the people who doubt Darnell Wright are upset about the contract, they can just shut the fuck up. But that's going to do it for today's episode, y'all. Man, I want you guys to sound off down below on how you feel about everything. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode or an upload. You can follow us at Shy Bear Central on every social media platform. You send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, chicagobearcentral@gmail.com. And lastly, if you want to leave a text message and our voicemail for the mailbag, the number to do so, 773-242-9336. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bears related. And like I like to end every episode on, Chi-Town up for Bear down. Love you guys. Peace, y'all.
This has been a presentation of the Break Media.